Now at 6, authorities investigate a suspicious device at a Webb City gas station. Plus, experts say fall equals mating season for deer, and that means an increased risk for deer collisions. We've got tips for how you can protect you and your family on the road. And a cemetery caretaker looks to bring some old graves back to life.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Police in Webb City have given an all-clear alert after investigating a suspicious device. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Tanya Bach. The device was discovered this morning at the Murphy USA gas station on South Madison. A portion of the parking lot was closed off by police, but other surrounding businesses remained open and were unaffected. Webb City Police requested aid from the bomb squad of the Springfield Fire Department, who determined the device was not a threat. Meteorologist Sam Lane is live on the Carthage Square for the Maple Leaf Festival, and he's there for another special event as well.
That's right, Tanya. I'm here in downtown Carthage on the Carthage Square, where we are letting the kids touch the vehicle, the storm tracking vehicle. But as you can see behind me, there's lots of other vehicles out here, utility trucks, big rigs, all kinds of neat and wonderful vehicles out here for you to get a touching up close, and even a monster truck over here. So it's going to be a beautiful evening here in Carthage. Temperatures are going to be falling down through the 60s into the 50s as we go into the overnight hours with mostly fair skies. It's going to be chilly by morning, and I'll detail all that in the forecast coming up in just a little bit. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Sam. Well, for those who've been driving those big trucks, feeling the pain of the gas pump, good news for drivers in the 4 states. Gas prices look to be on their way down. The national average now sits at $3.60, a full 20 cents more than the highest 4-state average, which is Kansas at $3.41. Missouri is next at $3.27, then Oklahoma at $3.26, and Arkansas with the lowest at $3.18. Gas prices may be even lower in some area counties. Crawford sits at $3.38. Ottawa County at $3.09 and Jasper County at $3 per gallon. Well, fall can mean increased deer sightings in the 4 states, and that can mean an increase in deer collisions. Insurance experts say claims for collisions with deer rise during the fall, which is mating season. They also say there are simple ways to reduce your chances of deer collision, such as slowing down, being aware and alert. Don't rely on deer whistles, and brake, don't swerve. If you do hit an animal, move your car safely off the road and call the police or animal control. Damage from animal collisions is usually covered by auto insurance policies.
This is the time of year when drivers need to look out for deer crossing the road. This is the peak of the deer mating season. It's called the rut. So you have bucks chasing does. Also at this time of year, you have a lot of heavy feeding activity of deer. So you have a lot of deer movement. Peak time for movements are early in the morning around sunup and late in the afternoons around sundown. Those are the peak times.
Oklahoma leads the 4 states with the highest average chance of hitting a deer, followed by Kansas, Missouri, and then Arkansas. Cherokee Nation signs a historic agreement to provide a VA clinic inside the tribe's Veneta Health Center for area veterans. The tribe will provide around 1,300 square feet of leased space for the VA clinic, which is set to open around the new year. The VA clinic will serve both Native veterans and non-Native veterans in the region. The VA clinic will also include a waiting area, exam rooms, work areas, parking, and will work hand in hand with the Veneta Health Center to accomplish lab and x-ray services. The Eastern Oklahoma VA health care system serves about 53,000 veterans. The new VA clinic in Veneta will be one of 5 outpatient clinics operated by the VA. Well, parents in Pittsburgh have a fun place for their kiddos to go when school is out. Camp Now and Then opens its doors for the Pittsburgh community anytime Pittsburgh USD 250 is out during the school season. For parents, the camp provides a safe and fun alternative to hanging around the house with opportunities to play games, create crafts, and make new friends.
It's vital. You know, I can remember as a parent when school was out, you had to have a place for kids to go. And this is nice because we are licensed by the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, so we follow all the regulations. We have a good staff to kid ratio. Not only do we keep them physically active, as you can see behind me, we do a lot of educational activities too, so they're learning and having fun at the same time.
Camp Now and Then is open from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and is located at Lincoln Center, 710 West 9th Street. Anyone trying to file electronically with the Kansas court system recently found themselves unable to do so, and for good reason. Kansas court's e-filing system has been offline since the judicial branch experienced a security incident late last week. The security incident affected several systems used daily by courts statewide, including the e-filing system attorneys use to file documents in cases, case management systems district and appellate courts use to process cases, and others. Courts are open and operating, but clerks cannot receive electronic filings or electronic payments. All filings must be on paper or by fax. A unique volunteer opportunity that both honors the past and the future. KOAM's Amber Jenkins introduces us to a caretaker looking for help to bring a cemetery back to life.
All different types of people that are buried here. Rich, poor, black, white.
Roughly 1,400 stories, lessons, and lives lived lies underneath the ground. Caretaker Jim Beeler says he doesn't want the history to become forgotten history.
It has a lot of history as the beginnings before Joplin was ever here. And when you're looking at the 1840s, Joplin didn't come in until 1873.
Preservation is exactly why Peace Church Cemetery is inviting the community to take a tour and listen to stories behind the headstones. The hope? To inspire more volunteers like Doris Berryhill.
We've had ladies come out here. Matter of fact, one of our board members, she was 85 years old. She just passed away recently, and she was out here every 2 weeks doing something here at the cemetery. This was one of her best things, Doris Berryhill.
Beeler says supplies, donations, and volunteers like Berryhill keeps the cemetery alive.
Individuals that would want to volunteer, it takes about an hour every 2 weeks, so it's not a whole long time. We don't want people out here getting overheated or breaking their neck to try to maintain the spots.
Reporting in Jasper County, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Peace Church Cemetery's historic tour will be held at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturday. Well, later you voted for it, and now Brock brings you the performance of the week. That's coming up just a little later in sports. But up next, 2 rallies took place over the weekend in the Show Me State, one for Israel, one for Palestine, both for peace.
Classic shakes all day at Sonic.
As the conflict in the Middle East continues, the number of civilian casualties on both sides continues to mount. Regardless of which side supporters fall on, whether Israel or Palestine, the one thing they can agree on is peace. Justin Andrews has the details from a pair of rallies in the Show Me State over the weekend.
Free Palestine!
Voices echoed across the St. Louis metro Sunday as pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli groups rallied. At Keener Plaza, Ahmed Hussein, who lives in St. Louis, hopes the U.S. and the world can help the people still stuck in Gaza.
People have been denied water, electricity, food, and of course this is not right.
He was among hundreds of others chanting Free Palestine as they ask world leaders to stop the occupation of the West Bank. Protesters very upset over the bombing of Gaza that's killed thousands already, including children.
It's not about anything religious, anything political. It's just about humanitarian issue. People are being bombed.
Colonite Chapel is one of the organizers of this rally in Creve Coeur in support of Israel.
We are hurting and we're afraid and we're scared, and just being able to gather together has been very healing.
She says they wanted to be visible and make sure all communities who wanted to stand with them could do that. They stand with Israel in hopes this leads to a new government in Palestine.
We would like to see Hamas dismantled and for Israelis and Palestinians to live in peace.
The number of people killed continues climbing on both sides of this. We also know at least 30 Americans were killed and 13 others unaccounted for.
Before the operation on October 7th, the last war between Israel and Hamas was in 2021, which lasted for 11 days and killed at least 250 people in Gaza and 13 in Israel. A little later, MSSU Lions come off a tough home loss to cross-border rivals PSU. Head coach Atiba Bradley talks about where to go next, coming up in sports.
For the performing arts in Branson.
All right, welcome to the KOAM News at 6, and we are live from downtown Carthage at the Carthage Square, where you can touch a truck. Not just touch a truck, but touch the storm tracker as well. We also have tow trucks, utility trucks, big rigs, monster trucks. It's a great time to come out with the kids. Lots of people out here wearing a little bit of a light jacket and sweaters. It's getting a little bit chilly out here as the sun goes down. We've had mostly fair skies across the entire area this afternoon. You can see on the satellite view, we have mostly fair conditions across most of the country. The big storm system on the west coast, that's going to take its time getting here over the next few days. But in the meantime, we're going to have some pretty nice weather shaping up across the area. Let's take a look and show you what's going on as far as the low temperatures this morning. Well, this evening, we're going to be looking at very chilly conditions, warmer Tuesday with some late showers on Wednesday, and then a pretty nice weekend ahead in our forecast. And unfortunately, it looks like I went past where I'm supposed to be here. So let's go on and take a look at the lows this morning. They were quite chilly indeed, in the mid-30s in some places like Seneca and in Pineville with 34 degrees. And then tonight we're going to see mostly fair conditions and chilly temperatures once again. We did make it up to 65 this afternoon with the sunshine after a chilly start of 39 in Joplin. Right now across the area, we have light variable winds with temperatures generally in the 60s across the area. 62 up in Nevada, 58 though in Stockton, and it's already down to 56 in Monette and in Cassville. All right, let's take a look at the 24-hour temperature change. We've actually warmer tonight than we were last night at this time, about 5 to 10 degrees warmer. So that's a good trend. As we head into the next few days, we're going to see those warmer temperatures across the area, and that is really good news. All right, let's take a look and show you what's going on. As far as the satellite view, you can see the clouds up to the north and west. That's the next storm system, but it's going to be about Wednesday before it gets in here. We have one system on the east coast that's starting to pull away, and as the next system comes in, we're expecting precipitation late Wednesday and into Thursday. Most of the precipitation will be on the light side, generally less than 1/10 of an inch across most of the area, with the heavier amounts just off towards the east. All right, so for tonight, mostly fair skies with temperatures dropping down into the 30s and lower 40s. Could see some patchy frost, especially up towards the north with light and variable winds. Then tomorrow, we're going to be looking at a high temperature in the 60s. And then as we go into Thursday, there's those showers, especially in the morning with the high of 71. But the weekend looks perfect, Tanya, with temperatures in the 70s, maybe some showers late on Sunday. And then as we go into the latter part of next week, that's when the next big chance of rain starts to move back in. But it looks like it's going to be a perfect weekend here in Carthage for the Leaf Parade. Might need a little bit of a light jacket, but it still is going to be a great weekend. Back to you.
Well, Sam, I hear lots of horns honking in the background. How is the crowd looking out there tonight, and is there still time for people to get there and enjoy the event?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of people out here with their kids. The kids get to honk the horns, and of course, and if you're an adult too, I'm sure they'll let you honk the horn as well. And of course, we have the ambulances over there on the northeast corner. So lots to do out here in the square here in Carthage. Just bring a little bit of a light jacket.
All right. Yep. Looks like it's getting a little chilly out there. All right. Thank you so much, Sam. Well, still ahead, Pittsburgh State football moves up the rankings in the latest AFCA coaches poll. And four local Missouri softball teams are playing for a district championship. Brock Baldridge breaks down the matchups next in sports.
Performing arts.
New home. See the difference. The Home Store in downtown Parsons.
The
The Missouri Southern Lions are coming off of a tough home loss against their rivals Pittsburgh State. The Lions will now hit the road versus a winless Lincoln team, but that's not stopping Southern from taking their opponent seriously.
The difference of preparing for a Pittsburgh or preparing for a Lincoln really just it lies on us, our attitude, our demeanor, and we got to make sure they're the same, because you guys know how momentum is, you guys know how teams are. If you let a team hang around, if you mess around and, we're just going to go out, you'll mess around and get embarrassed. And so we got to make sure that we're dialed in and got a good game plan for them.
It's always different going on away games. You have things you don't plan for sometimes, but I think it's going to be nice to get away from Joplin for a little bit. Go see a new field. We haven't been there in 2 years, and I think we're going to play. We're going to try to execute the best we can.
Let's check out the latest AFCA coaches poll. If you missed it, the #1 overall ranked team in the country, Ferris State, who Pitt State fans are far familiar with, lost to Grand Valley State on Saturday, which means we have a new top-ranked team in the country. At #1 is the Colorado School of Mines. Pittsburgh State moves up to #2. Other teams in the MIAA include Central Missouri at #16 and Emporia State at 24. Well, postseason high school softball rolls on in Southwest Missouri. We still have a handful of teams in our local viewing area that are alive to win a district championship game tonight. In the Class 5 District 7 championship, it's the Neosho Wildcats, who are coming off one of their best comeback wins of the season, winning the semifinals from a walk-off home run by Carly Kennard. Tonight, the Lady Wildcats will try to bring some hardware home as they face the #1 seeded Ray Peck Panthers at Joplin High School. We will have full highlights from that contest tonight at 10. We also have another contest taking place in the Class 4 District 7 championship game in Nevada, where the #1 seeded overall Nevada Tigers will face the #2 seeded Webb City Cardinals. We will also have highlights from that game as well tonight at 10. Last but not least, the Cassville Wildcats are playing for the Class 3 District 6 title. They are taking on the Donovan Donettes. We will have a final score update from that game tonight at 10. Well, the votes are in, and you, the audience, selected the Frontenac Raiders as our performance of the week following our KOAM Press Box show on Fox 14. Frontenac beat the undefeated Parsons Vikings 10-8 thanks to a late game-winning field goal by Frontenac's kicker Aiden Hill. The Raiders will improve to 6-1 on the season, and they will face the Galena Bulldogs on the road this Friday night. Last note here, the Division I AP Top 25 men's basketball college came out today. Just a glance looking at the top 4 teams in the nation. Kansas Jayhawks are #1 in the country to begin the season. The only team in the Big 12 is the University of Houston. One of those Big 12 newcomer teams. They are ranked #7. It's a look for sports. We'll be right back right after this.
Commodity showrooms for huge savings during our annual
Overseas medals. We are proud to salute Sean Burge, a 4-state hero.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The Carthage School Board discusses changes to the salary and benefits package for bus drivers. Plus, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We'll learn how advocates are helping patients get the support they need. And as Disney celebrates 100 years in operation, the list of issues it's facing grows. Those stories and a lot more tonight on the KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, all you have to do is download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Let's check back in with Sam at the Maple Leaf Festival for a final look at the forecast. Sam?
That's right, Tanya. We are here in downtown Carthage, and if you hear all the honking behind me, it's not a New York City traffic jam. It is Touch a Truck night here at Carthage Square in downtown Carthage. A beautiful evening, a little bit on the chilly side. You might need a light jacket as temperatures are going to be falling through the 50s all the way down into the 30s by tomorrow morning. But the next chance of showers won't arrive until late Wednesday into early Thursday, but a perfect weekend shaping up across the area for all the events that are going on here in Carthage for the Maple Leaf Festival, with temperatures in the 50s for the parade and then in the lower 70s in the afternoon on Saturday. Then the next chance of rain after that won't arrive until about Tuesday or Wednesday of the following week. But all in all, not a bad forecast, especially for this evening to come down and enjoy Touch a Truck event.
All right, and I definitely hear those horns out there. Thank you so much, Sam. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right back here at 10. Have a great evening and an even better tomorrow.
Sponsored by Aaron Sachs